The President of Republic of Kenya is currently in Germany. And that trip is happening just a week after he toured China. During the China trip, William Ruto was accompanied by Raila Odinga, and they met some 7 African presidents out of the 40 that were in China. And now the State House reported that William Ruto was allegedly campaigning for Raila Odinga for the African Union Commission chairperson seat. Now, currently, I've been following the German trip because, of course, that is the second Europe trip after the Gen Z protest. The first trip that Ruto made was in Rwanda to attend the inauguration of Kagame. Then he came back, and then the second one was in China, and this one is in Germany. So within the last 2 weeks, the president has traveled 3 times. I think he's rolling back the carpet and might just go back to the other record of traveling probably 4 times a month, if he keeps to that statistic. So I paid attention to why the president is in Germany, and that is on some labor agreements. And probably I want us to listen to a video by Hussein Mohammed explaining, and this part is very critical because it's going to help us answer a question on Raila's presence on that trip.
President William Ruto will leave the country this evening for a 2-day official visit to the Federal Republic of Germany. Now, this visit marks a significant milestone in the long-standing relations between Kenya and Germany, spanning over 60 years, and is aimed at strengthening cultural, economic, and diplomatic ties. Now, during his visit, President Ruto will engage in several high-profile activities expected to yield real, tangible, and immediate benefits to the people of Kenya. The key engagements while on his official visits are as follows. Number 1, he'll witness or preside over the signing of the Kenya-Germany Agreement on Comprehensive Migration and Mobility Partnership. Now, this will be a key highlight of the visit. The signing of this important agreement establishes a framework for cooperation on labor mobility, apprenticeships, student training, employment, and the welfare of employees, as well as for the readmission and return of citizens. He will also participate at the annual Citizens Festival. The President will attend and address this year's prestigious Citizens Festival, themed Pamoja, Stronger Together. Kenya has been honored as the profile partner country, making it the first time a non-European country has been selected to partner with Germany for the festival. This partnership offers a unique platform to showcase Kenya's rich cultural heritage to the German Republic, or the German public rather. Cultural exchange has been the cornerstone of our connection, with institutions like the Gota Institute in Nairobi playing a crucial role in promoting German culture in Kenya since 1963. President Ruto will also hold bilateral discussions with his host, German President Frank-Walter Steinmeier, as well as the German Chancellor Olaf Scholz. These meetings will focus on deepening cooperation on areas of mutual interest, including green energy and climate action, digital cooperation, trade and investment, skills development and labor, and regional and international peace and security. The President will equally engage with leading German business leaders during a special CEO's forum aimed at enhancing trade and investment opportunities between Kenya and Germany. The CEOs of major companies such as Mercedes-Benz, YouTube, and Ida Cruises are expected to participate in the forum. Germany is a leading foreign direct investor, given the presence of over 100 German companies in Kenya, with investments worth 150 billion shillings. Nairobi also hosts the largest office globally for the German Agency for International Cooperation, GIZ, and the regional office of Germany's top trade promotion agency, AHK. In terms of expected benefits for Kenya and Kenyans following the President's official visit, number 1, employment opportunities for the youth. I remember that after the signing of the Kenya-Germany Agreement on Comprehensive Migration and Mobility Partnership, both countries will encourage the immigration of skilled workers who have completed vocational training or a university-level degree and whose qualifications have been recognized by the competent authorities. Critically, Germany will waive the requirement for a labor market test for Kenyans prior to employment. Germany will also issue long-stay visas for eligible Kenyans pursuing studies or vocational training. Upon completion, Kenyan students and apprentices may extend their stay to gain professional experience and potentially secure employment in Germany. Another benefit is that the Citizens Festival will significantly raise the visibility of Kenyan culture in Germany, fostering greater appreciation and understanding while promoting tourism and cultural exchanges. In the last financial year, Kenya attracted 81,359 German tourists compared to slightly over 66,000 in the previous year, marking a 23.2% growth. This festival, of course, then presents an opportunity to further grow German tourist arrivals in the country. The visit will also promote investment opportunities in key sectors such as manufacturing, agriculture, tourism, and the creative economy, positioning Kenya as a prime destination for German investors. Now, this visit not only reaffirms the strong ties between Kenya and Germany, but also opens new avenues for cooperation.
So that is what Hussein Mohammed is explaining. And of course, that press statement was issued yesterday on Thursday, just to try to confirm to the country that President is not wasting taxpayers' money and is going to Germany on an official mission. But today, there is a photo that has been leaked by Dennis Itumbi. Dennis Itumbi is the head of digital economy and I don't know special programs under the office of the president. And Dennis Itumbi shared this photo. And he said, catching up with Raila Odinga just moments before the arrival of President William Ruto in Germany. So Dennis Itumbi was telling us that he met Raila Odinga. If you look at that video, they are all in official attires. So it is something that it could be an official, it's an official meeting. They've met in, even if it's a reception where the president will be received somewhere, but it's something very official. Now, one thing from that video that is being confirmed here is that Raila Odinga is in Germany. Now, the ODM meeting that was done here in Nairobi that appointed Anyang' Nyong'o as the party leader happened, and Raila Odinga joined virtually. Raila Odinga was not in the country. And even the invitations to State House that was extended to ODM members of parliament happened when Raila Odinga was actually away from the country. Now, this photo has been shown, leaked out in public by Dennis Itumbi, objectively to communicate something to us. And it is from this photo rather that I'm drawing that I'm making some observations key here related to Raila Odinga's AUC bid. In fact, Itumbi wanted to achieve something. He wanted to show us, he wanted to silence the critics or scrutiny on his presence in that trip. Yes, of course, if you listen to Hussein Mohammed's statement on William Ruto's trip to Germany, he's talking something about digital economy. But I don't still get then why we have the ICT ministry. Then in the office of the president, we have a special programs on digital and creative economy and special programs. I'm not still not buying it. I don't know how it comes through there, because there could be some duplication. But then, does it mean Itumbi is then replacing the ICT ministry? Because the ICT minister is not really there, but Itumbi is not placed. So Kenyans would have started asking, if you would have seen the photo of Itumbi, of course, the Gen Zs were demanding answers in terms of what Itumbi is doing there. So it would have really created some more questions on that. And the other thing is, is Raila part of Ruto delegation to Germany? Pushing the Raila in government narrative is also something that Dennis Itumbi wanted to communicate. But is it really, Ruto was with Raila in France, in China, Ruto is with Raila in Germany. If you look at Ruto mission in Germany, and those who are attending the event in Germany, I don't know whether there is an African president that is in Germany that will say that Ruto is taking Raila to campaign for? And is President Ruto campaigning for Raila Odinga? I'm going to answer that question. But before I answer it, I want to remind you that I am shooting this video in Kilifi. I had to come back to Kilifi to finish the project. Remember, the project we were doing of elderly mission was we had to build some 4 new houses for the elderly. These houses 2 are already complete, so I came here just to look into what had been done, and these are the houses that you can see here. Then apart from that, apart from the 2 houses that are already complete, the other 2 are starting this weekend. So they also I think by Monday should also be done. But we've thought of just a demand that is pending, and it is just a simple demand that as we give these houses were these elderly, wow, they are more demanding because situation zao zilikuwa zimedeteriorate sana. So we gave one, I think one already has mattress. So we're going to buy mattresses for some 3, then vitanda for all of them, and we just thought of some utensils kidogo. So this one, if you can get some 2, 5, just some 10 people, or even 100 people that can be able to pull through to a 50,000, that will help us to finish this. I really wish I can finish this on Sunday, not even on Monday. I can finish this on Sunday so that I travel back to Nairobi and be in Nairobi in Monday. So any of your support will really go a long way in making sure that this is a reality. Now, is William Ruto campaigning for Raila Odinga? I dare ask, is William Ruto campaigning for Raila Odinga over that AU? Raila's insiders are a bit disturbed that contrary to a report, contrary to the public, the launching, the hula baloo during the launching and all that Kenyan government is committed on Raila's bid in African Union Commission, not so much is put into action. And there are some 3 factors that I want to speak about exclusively on this issue. Number 1, Raila Odinga's campaign team that was supposed to be led by PS Sing'oei is not fully accommodated in the plan for the campaign. And there is a section that is not fully involved in that campaign. In fact, during the China tour, that campaign team were not plugged. And the only president and the PS were in China, but not so much what to be done. Since that committee was formed, the issue of finances have still remained an issue. Because contrary to what was expected, that they would run their campaign and they would be funded, exclusively funded for that project, they still need to beg and knock offices left, right and center looking for those finances. And number 3, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, where this Raila's bid is domiciled, is not really visible and is not acting like he's playing the lead role in this. So if you look at, and in fact that Raila trip to Germany is exposing something that I want to speak about. The issue of Ruto, if really Ruto is supporting Raila's bid. If really Ruto is supporting Raila's bid. Because if he would be supporting Raila's bid, he would not be with Raila there. Raila Odinga would have not been there. So I want to look at that, and I want to explain to the country that yesterday I had Matakwe Mobimba saying that ODM party, that if Raila Odinga gets that seat, then Ruto should just be happy because he knows that he will get his second term because all those will vote for him. And I said that one thing they were saying is they were just directly telling the president that you have a role to play on Raila Odinga getting that bid. I am not so much convinced that Ruto is campaigning for Raila, is leading those campaigns, and Raila Odinga's bid seem to be collapsing. I am not a prophet, but I can tell you that Raila may not be even on ballot in that February. Yes. If things go the way they are going, the probability of Raila Odinga pulling out of that contest, especially when he will realize that this is not going to work on his interest, Raila would most likely pull out. And I want to say this. Number one, there is a pursuit. The East Africa region is supposed to produce one candidate. What do you make of Raila coming up and supporting, probably even backing one candidate from one of these countries? When he realizes that not so much in his stake, but even be able to pull a secret card and support even the Djibouti candidate, at least. But what was Ruto's objective with this? And this is what the country is looking at. The first thing is the issue of Raila going to AU, contrary to what people have been perceiving that if Raila goes to AU, then Ruto has his second term and this and that. I don't see it as Ruto really means well, because for this, the intention was never about the AU. The intention was using the ODM party to pacify the population. So if Raila going to AU is going to excite his fans, then that's what will be said in these rallies. All over, be said in rallies all over. And look at the moves. Sifuna is saying ODM members are receiving calls and messages and letters of invitation to State House to meet the president, just for photos. Yes. Just for photography, so that a newspaper headline will run that ODM party meets, ODM MPs meets Ruto in State House. No, those are kind of the things that, those are the kind of stories that the President Ruto would actually want to see in media. So that people understand and people tend to buy that, look here, now how, what is someone I'm support. If you look at the bigger picture, that is what William Ruto wanted. It was not about what I see people hawking around in these streets. Number two, the African Union Post, if you listen to what Thabo Mbeki said, he said something about that post. And he highlighted the fact, I think I analyzed here, that he highlighted the fact that the region could not settle on one candidate, number one. He also spoke about qualification and what really African Union needs in terms of its leadership. And he spoke about the global interests in it. I can be sure, if that voting can be secret, and there is a foreign country that is pushing a candidate, Kenya can even fail to vote for Raila Odinga. It might end up voting for that candidate, if that voting is secret. Ruto is so much occupied with the globalist agenda. And if there is a candidate whose candidature advances a globalist agenda, then Raila Odinga can even be dumped in the altar of that globalist agenda. Lastly, I think President Ruto just wanted to suppress criticism so that deals can sail through. After that Gen Z protest, look at some of these things. Look at the Dani deal that is now blowing the country. The Dani deal is blowing the country, and the opposition, the ODM party, is quiet. It's only a handful of some MPs, and in fact not even MPs, it is a handful of some senators. That is Onyonka and Sifuna and Cherargei. There are also some MPs like Babu Wino that are now coming out and saying that is not the best thing in the interest of the country. So all this was needed. In fact, it was needed just to create a conducive environment so that things will sail through. But if you even look at that campaign team, what are they doing? And if you look at the other candidate, the Djibouti candidate is very serious, by the way. He even attended some summit just recently, some 3 days ago, I think somewhere in Libya, where African Union started. I think Raila should spend more days visiting African countries than the days he's spending escorting Ruto in Germany. Escorting Ruto is not bad, but I think that journey, if you ask me, is not adding any value as far as the candidature of Raila Odinga is concerned. If anything, The president just want to fly around with the president so that Kenyans cannot ask him. He will ask Kenyans, oh, I was with the team because we're also campaigning for Raila. He will always, even failing to mention. In fact, some people say that some of these meetings that State House team post that, I don't know, we campaign for Raila Odinga. Nothing like a campaign. It is just a by the way that we are also with Raila here. Someone was saying there, we are also with Raila here. Raila is our former president. He was my former opponent, but because of good politics, now he's vying for AUC and we're asking for his vote. Just that. But for a campaign, to campaign for a candidate, you need to go visit that country. The Djibouti candidate has visited nearly all the countries in East Africa. Raila is yet to go to Burundi. I'm told there was a trip to go to Burundi that I don't know what happened. Somewhere in the middle of everything, it backfired. So I think we need to be very objective if Raila Odinga is really pushing the candidature. Ladies and gentlemen,